afternoon. According to the World Health Organization, 7 million people are dying annually about air pollution, and especially in cities. And if you look at crimes in cities, it's going up. And if you look at safety and security, people feel more insecure to live in cities. And finally, an upcoming trend as well is that people feel lonely. Old people feel more lonely, as well as young people. And recently in Holland, a lady was found in her apartment, and there's nothing strange about that, but she passed away already 6 months ago. And actually more years ago, in a big city in Holland, they found somebody in their apartment who passed away 10 years ago. And why am I using those examples? If you look around the world, the big cities, Shanghai, city of Shanghai having 24 million people. Istanbul, 15 million people. London, 9 million people. And even our Amsterdam has almost 1 million people. And according to the latest trends, the world is growing. Nowadays, we have 7 billion people living on this globe. But in 2050, we will have 10 billion people around this globe. Unbelievable. And the fact is going to be that 70% of those people are going to live in cities. So the current population of 7 billion is going to live in cities in 2050. Well, folks, this is really giving me very, very much city stress. City stress around the mobility. Going from A to B already is a disaster. And of course, new techniques will come. But it's going to be more crowded in cities. But what about water? Clean water. I travel a lot for my work. And when I enter a hotel and I enter the front desk, the lady gives me 2 plastic bottles of water. You know why? Because she cannot drink the water anymore. It's heavily chlorinated. It's good for bleaching my teeth, by the way. And not only the water quality, also the water quantity. Recently, Sao Paulo, Cape Town, didn't have enough water to feed to the people. Water, the number one source of our life. And I remember a couple of months ago, in Holland, we touched 41 degrees Celsius. And due to climate change, things will change. And our farmers were not able to use water anymore for the crops. I already mentioned air pollution. When I travel to Asia in some of those big cities, I see more people with mouth caps than without mouth caps. I told you about climate change. More extreme weather conditions, heat stress, water stress, floodings, with all those people in those cities. One thing also makes me really keep awake at night. What about our energy supply? The power, energy. Also this year, a power cut was in Argentina. 48 million people with no power. Think about this. No power anymore. And I can talk about it. I'm living in the Betuwe, next door here. In 2007 and 2017, an Apache helicopter entered our high voltage line, and we didn't have power anymore. I can tell you, without power, we have nothing. I wasn't able to make any coffee anymore. I had very cold showers. No Wi-Fi. Hello? No Wi-Fi anymore. No lights. We go back to basic. So if we have no power, we go back to basic. And we are in a major energy transition right now, going to more renewable sources for energy. So how are we going to deal with all those disruptions and those challenges? I told you about mobility, climate change, safety, crime. And sustainability stands for the 3 Ps. You remember? 3 Ps. People, planet, profit. People, planet, profit. So everything also needs to be payable. And just to give you one example, here you see a beautiful housing in my own village, green, standalone, a lot of space, and pretty affordable. Pretty affordable. And you buy the same house in the city on the fourth stock, and you don't even know your neighbors, and a very small one. So how are we going to deal with this? And sometimes I'm thinking about, do we need to stop that move to the cities? Well, we won't. We won't stop that move to the cities because people probably want to live in cities. It's fine to live in cities. But don't we need to find a balance because we create another problem? And I'm talking about Holland here. The people are moving to the cities and our small villages are fading away. The quality of life in small villages is going down. No shops anymore. No schools anymore. So how is Holland dealing with this when 70% of the people is going to a village? So the quality of life also in villages is under pressure, like we have with the city stress. So why don't we make those villages attractive and more attractive and balancing it out? And try to deal with those challenges we face. And the power here is, because villages are small, with a small approach you can achieve a lot of things. Where we also have a facilitating government. Because we need to act, we need to stop talking. And I don't understand all the policies we need to make in place and the climate conferences. But we need to change our mindsets ourselves. What are we going to do? What are you going to do about this? And actually, we might need to go back to our DNA. In the past, very, very past, we lived in tribes. We were hunting together, we were cooking together, we were dancing together, we were laughing together, we were building our houses together, all in a very small way. It's in our DNA. And nowadays, we are far moving away from our DNA. Individualism, yeah, we do it on social media, behind your laptop or your telephone. So let me give you an example. My own village, Enspijk. Who has ever heard about Enspijk? Are you serious? You heard about it? Cool. Didn't know that. Like it. Who lives in villages here in the room? Oh, I like that. Really like that. Makes me proud. So Enspijk is a very small village, 40 kilometers from here, with 586 people and 200 houses. Very small. And our mission started around 10 years ago, where we felt, indeed, the quality of life in our small village is going down, is going back. We are going to be absorbed by a bigger government. How are we going to stay unique? And our mission started when a local company wanted to asphalt a very nice rural road. And we said, oh, do we want this? Do we really want this? More asphalt in our village. So what have we done? We entered all those 200 houses. And we knocked at the door and said, hey guys, do we want that asphalt there over there? And many of those folks said, no way. And the road never came. But while going through those houses, we heard so many ideas. Can we do this? But also a lot of people were very, very frustrated because nothing was happening and that the quality of life was under pressure. And then we thought, with a lot of volunteers, we need to do something about it. So we created a foundation to build a platform in our small village to pick up all those activities. We built our own website because we wanted to improve the quality. And we want to become a unique dorp. A village. Dorp is Dutch. And all what we've heard We took action. No talks anymore. We took action. We just did it. With the old and the younger people. So with the younger people, we were starting to plant trees to make the village greener. We bought off the subsidies, because there are so many subsidies to get. We bought a kitchen to cook for our elderly people. We organized a lot of activities. We made the public space more attractive. We designed our own flag, our village flag. We asked young people who are living in our village, how do you want to foresee our village? Well, you get answers like, I want to have a roller coaster in the village, or swimming pools. But you need to attract those kids as well, to keep the quality high. We are delivering every quarter a newsletter to inform the people. But also we were one of the first villages who created groups WhatsApps. And I'm talking a long time ago, because there was a lot of burglary going on, and so, we want to become more safe. So we developed a WhatsApp group, TEDxVeghel, safe. And also Enspijk help. If somebody needs help, she or he could put it on the WhatsApp and to share it with our people, and they were able to help. And it feels good. It feels really good that we are acting together and make something happen, something out of it. And in line of that, a couple of years later, in close collaboration with the municipality, we developed a village plan. Because we also wanted to be more ambitious. We want to look ahead as well. So we wrote down with and for the people a plan with 3 themes. Enspijk takes care, Enspijk public space, and Enspijk sustainability, or sustainable. And those 3 themes are connected. Enspijk takes care was really about taking care of our elderly people in our village. Those people need to live longer in their homes. So what are we going to do to adjust those homes so that they can live longer in those homes? But also at the same time, what can we do for our kids to make the village more attractive? And how can we take care of each other? And the second area was public space. Not only to make it attractive, unique, beautiful, to attract also people from outside, but at the same time, create space for the kids to play, create a safe environment for all the people to walk through our village. And the final one comes really back to sustainability. At that time, we put on a dot in the horizon that we want to become energy neutral in 2030. 2030. And when you put this dot on the horizon, you got a lot of attention. Really funny. And we started from scratch. And please remember, for the Dutch people in the room, the Gronings natural gas was not an issue at that time. Not at all. But we thought we want to be energy neutral in 2030 and make that happen. So we worked with a local housing company to isolate the housing for all the housing in our village, which creates more comfort for the people, as well as the energy bills going down. We got heat scans. People could borrow our heat scans to find the heat leakages. People got advices to insulate. But also, we invited a lot of contractors. How are we going to do this energy transition? And I'm talking about 6 years ago. And actually, the earthquakes in Groningen, it's very sad to say, it's helping us to achieve our targets. Our solar panels are growing on our roofs. And this year, we recently again installed solar panels ourselves. And with the savings we achieve, we put back in our village. And finally, at this moment, at that time, the gemeente Geldermalsen was consisting of 11 small villages, and they put up the idea to build 11 windmills for each village one. And they're actually now in construction. So 11 windmills are going to be built right now. And we ourselves are able to participate financially in the corporation, to put money in the windmill, but also to extract the energy when the winds are exactly. So the message is here, we need to act. We need to combine forces. With a very small approach, you get unique results. And of course, also, we need to facilitate more our villages, because the focus is a lot about cities. And I just told you, a lot of city stress is coming up. So why not balancing it out? And brand our villages better than we do today. And to make those villages much more attractive. Or just don't need to say, hey, why don't we let the villages grow a little bit? Maybe 10%. To attract more people, to get more diversification. So get a better balance between city and the village. And in 2004, I landed in my beautiful village, Enspijk. I'm still living here. It's a unique place. When I come back from work, I feel de-stressed. I feel safe. I feel comfortable. I know the people. And my kids are young, very young still. And I assume they will go to a city at some point, which is fine. I went to a city when I was young and partied, which is fine. But I do really hope that they come back at some point to really continue the journey we have made and to let the village stay with a high quality of life. And a big man in the world once said, if I cannot do great things, I still can do very small things with a big impact. Thank you.